Hello and welcome to Steinway Dialogue Days. Today I want to discuss with you the sensory organs of the modern building and Steinway's vision in the solutions. My name is Rob Ramsey and I'm the Project Sales Manager for Steinway UK in the Midlands. Sensors today need to be doing far more than just switching lights on. Buildings are becoming more and more intelligent and the requirements within the buildings and the demands are far greater than ever before. This has been driven by the technology now available to integrate building intelligence and automation of the building. Many sensors are now in buildings, whether it's for temperature, humidity, and also the standard sensors for automating the switching on of lighting in rooms due to presence and the brightness levels. However, instead of having multiple sensors installed into a building, the aesthetics is also important. Therefore, we're developing sensors that not only do presence and brightness control, but also integrate into air pressure detection, carbon dioxide levels, the temperature, humidity, volatile organic compounds, smells within an area, but more importantly, providing a sensor that is giving true presence detection. Typically, sensors in the current market are looking for random movement. Through our development of the true presence detection, we've taken this to another level where now the sensor is picking up direct human movement through the movement of breathing. It's that minute detail that now we're able to offer a solution that is providing information that the room is truly occupied by a human or is truly unoccupied. And this is vitally important to improve the energy efficiency of the building. What is Steinway's vision to the modern building? Well, if we take ourselves as humans, we're continually receiving inputs of our senses, whether that's sight, smells, taste, touch, temperature, moisture. From there, we're able to think, what do we need to do in this area and act upon it. More importantly, we're also able to learn from our environment. Therefore, in the modern building, we're trying to replicate what we do as humans, that the building needs to be able to sense all the environmental aspects that are present. The building then needs to think and decide what to do. Traditionally, heating works separately to lighting. Lighting tends to work separately from the blinds in the building if they're present. All this needs to be incorporated to allow the building to efficiently and effectively act upon those input devices and decide what is the best and most efficient way in dealing with the required environmental conditions. Moving forward, as more and more artificial intelligence becomes common, the building will then start to be able to learn how to preempt what it should be doing instead of reacting. Therefore, buildings become far more efficient, but also the experience of its occupants will greatly improve. So what is Steinway's solution? Well, with the True Presence detection launched 2 years ago, we have a multi-sensor. So this sensor not only is providing information that the room is truly occupied by a human and the brightness level, it is also providing information on temperature, the humidity of the environment, carbon dioxide levels, volatile organic compounds or smells, and the pressure within the room. All these combine to provide a far better well-being environment for the occupants, which ultimately increase productivity and improve energy efficiency of the building. What we're trying to achieve is the optimal building conditions for the occupants and residents, and sensor technology will be at the heart of providing this information. So typically what we're aiming to achieve is a temperature of around 20 degrees and air humidity within the 40 to 60% parameters. Within these parameters, this will promote the well-being of the occupants. In addition, by managing the light levels effectively, this will also help people concentrate. More importantly, by monitoring the carbon dioxide levels, we're able to ensure that the ventilation is at the optimum level. One of the things that's now becoming more and more understood within an environment is the levels of CO2 greatly affects concentration, performance, As does the comfort of the occupants. So smells is another important factor. By combining all these together in one solution to monitor these areas, the well-being of the whole environment can be vastly improved. So with the sensor, there's many new applications that can be achieved through this one sensor. So through the True Presence, we're providing lighting on demand, as well as heating and air conditioning on demand to balance the temperature of the room. It provides a feel-good climate. And again with lighting now, we have human-centric lighting, where it's tunable and the colour temperature automatically adjusts throughout the working day. All this is fed back to the building automation system, the brains of the building, which is now cohesively looking at all the different aspects of the environment. Some of the benefits, by monitoring and having the levels at the optimum level, we can help reduce things such as mould building up within a building. Moving forward, as we know, the EU has big targets for climate targets of 2050, and whilst the UK won't be in the EU probably after this year, hopefully, or not, the same targets are going to be implemented by the UK because they've already committed to this. What does this mean for buildings? Well, if you want your building to have an A+ energy rating, there's certain standards it's going to have to meet. One is manually on and automatic switching off of lighting, automatic dimming of the lighting, shades for the building to be automated, as with the temperature control of the building. Whereas in the past all of these tend to have worked individually and against each other, now the whole point is that the building is taking all these aspects into account and it is automatically adjusting and analysing what is the most efficient balance of both utilising natural resources such as daylight coming in through the windows, solar gain from the sun heating up the atmosphere, as well as ensuring that for the occupants it's not too bright, it doesn't get too hot because of the sun shining through the windows, so it's automatically adjusting the shading, the temperatures, the lighting levels within the optimum parameters that both are energy efficient but also maintain the ideal working environment for its occupants. Therefore, combining all these areas is vitally important now and being fed back to the brains of the building. How can this be done? Well, this all depends on the platform and the infrastructure within buildings. And typically a lot of buildings are now being renovated, so there is historic systems already in place. These could be on KNX, which has been around now for 30 years as a standard. Moving forward, DALI has now created its own standard through DALI 2. So the devices, the sensors could be a DALI input device or could be a DALI application controller. I'm not going to talk too much about DALI 2 today. That is covered in one of our other webinars, so please feel free to log on to that. In addition, and becoming more popular, is the IP interfaces. So again, the systems will be looking at utilising either BACnet, MQTT, and REST API protocols. All our products are able to integrate into any of these through the different interfaces. What does that mean? That within the building, the system can be hardwired within this building, but also far more now are looking for cloud-based solutions. And again, through the Internet of Things, building automation, artificial intelligence is really moving forward. And we're at the forefront of the sensors to be able to integrate quite easily and seamlessly into these systems. How is this going to benefit different types of environments? If you start off by looking at schools and the education, there's big impetus on the learning environment of students. It's not just about the quality of teaching, it's the environment that is vitally important to ensure that students can concentrate and learn at the optimum levels. This is greatly affected by the quality of the lighting, the ventilation of the room. How often do we hear in schools that they don't like sensors being added into classrooms because for too long lights have gone off partway through a teaching session, could be on algebra, something complicated, and it loses the concentration of the students. The teachers waste a few minutes getting the students back on track, Even worse could be during exams, especially under the current COVID conditions where students have been off school for months. Learning is an important factor going forward for catching up. Therefore, using the right sensors such as the True Presence detector, it ensures that no unintentional switching off of lights will ever occur during these times. In addition, by able to provide the quality of the air and maintaining CO2 levels in the optimal level, concentration levels are vastly improved. In addition to this, what is going to be vitally important is that the occupants need to be educated. The occupants need to be educated of what is happening in the automation system. A few suggestions how this can be simply done is having a traffic light system within the room, showing what the air quality is, green for perfect, amber to red, or a visual display. And therefore, when the windows automatically open, the occupants can see why that is happening and the improvements that is making to the environment of the room. Without educating the occupants, a lot of this hard work and infrastructure that's being put in will never get utilised properly. There'll be always complaints back to the buildings management of, oh, these lights are dimming up or dimming down, and there's no understanding. So we need to really focus on the education of the occupants to let them know exactly what is happening and why it is happening. Here's a study that's being carried out on CO2 levels within a classroom during the school day. We're going to see at the start of the day, 8:30, the air quality is ideal. As the students arrive and come into the classroom, you can quickly see how soon the CO2 levels start massively increasing. Now, at some point, the teacher may manually open the window, as we can see the small drop in CO2 levels. But again, throughout the course of the session, CO2 levels moving quite rapidly into the low indoor air quality. As we know, high CO2 leads to poor concentration, tiredness, and restlessness. At break time, as the students leave the room, CO2 levels quickly fall. And that is the standard sort of culture of CO2 throughout the day. Therefore, by automating the ventilation, we can bring down the CO2 levels into the optimum levels of below 1,000 parts per million, therefore vastly improving concentration levels. So through optimal indoor climate for classrooms, we're looking for temperatures of between 21 and 22 degrees. Ideal air humidity 40 to 65%. CO2 levels below the 1,000 parts per million. Depending on the age group in the classroom, brightness anywhere between 3 to 500 lux. And if it's an office working environment, ideally around the 500 lux level. With the smells of volatile organic compounds, we want as low a level of these as possible, ideally below 100 parts per billion. If we don't achieve those levels within the indoor climate, then this is why we end up with far more headaches, significant tiredness, we find it difficult to concentrate during the day, and we become restless unconsciously because of feeling tired, because we want to move to stop ourselves yawning, and we have that continual uncomfortable feeling. Therefore, by dealing with this, learning, productivity significantly improves. Other application opportunities we have for using our True Presence is within the hotel and leisure industry. Integrating these into hotels, we can improve the guest comfort, but more importantly, we can save energy by controlling the air conditioning system, and we can also ensure that the guest experiences with housekeeping interactions are probably kept to a minimum. No more housekeeping knocking on the door shouting housekeeping when the room's occupied. The system can automate and tell housekeeping when the room is occupied and when the room is unoccupied. Same way with reception, therefore improving the guest experiences. Office and work environments, creating a feel-good climate massively improves productivity. Air quality is key to this. Again, in the current climate of COVID, social distancing is paramount, providing that peace of mind that a worker can come into their office and feel safe. So through using True Presence and optical sensors, we're able to provide live information of desk space being available, meeting rooms being available, occupancy of meeting rooms, and also is able to provide historic data to the building management and senior management to say, do we need additional office space, or are we using our existing space at its optimum levels? Again, all this improves productivity, but also reduces and improves energy consumption. So what solutions does Style offer across its range? Well, in Style we've got a range of different sensors and updated sensors. So with our Control Pro range, we've got 2 new sensors updates coming through, which is our IR Control HD2 and our Microwave 360-degree sensor. So both of these provide standard presence detection, but will also improve and provide information regarding brightness, humidity and temperature. Available interfaces in COM1, which is standard switching lights on off. COM2 is a standard light switching on and off, and also integrated into a HVAC system. Under the new DALI standard, we're providing DALI 2 application controllers, as well as standard input devices, fully available within the KNX IP standards, as well as a Bluetooth input device, which is an extending the range of the sensor. These are ideal for schools, offices, meeting rooms, stairways, corridors, washrooms, and so on. Within the True Presence range, from there we've got our True Presence detector, which gives true human presence detection. And again, it's available in all interfaces, COM1, COM2 as we discussed, the DALI 2 application controllers and input devices, KNX, IP standards, and as Bluetooth input devices. Again, these are ideal for hotel rooms, classrooms, offices, meeting rooms. In addition to that, we have the True Presence Multisensor. So that does exactly the same as the True Presence detector for human presence detection. In addition to that, it also provides information on humidity, air quality, carbon dioxide levels, and VOC levels. And this is available currently in KNX, with planned IP versions available start of 2021. From there, we also have the multi-sensor air. So this has the temperature, humidity, air pressure, VOC, CO2 and brightness without the True Presence detection. So if you're needing a multiple sensor to cover all the environmental conditions without the True Presence detection, we have that available. And again, that is available in KNX with the IP version on its way next year. And finally, we have our hallway detector. This is a long-range corridor sensor, up to 25 meters detection. And with this sensor, you can adjust either side of the detection range. So therefore, you can have one side of the sensor with a range of up to 3 meters, and the other side still at 12.5 meters detection range. And again, this is available in COM1, COM2, as a DALI 2 application controller or input device, on KNX, IP, and as a Bluetooth low energy input device. Just give you a bit more detail of the True Presence. So the True Presence, so this is picking up the minute movements of breathing. That can cover up to a 9 meter diameter area. Offers 360-degree coverage. As standard presence detection, this can cover an area of up to 15 meters diameter, and with mounting heights of up to 12 meters. However, it must be noted that for True Presence detection, the maximum mounting height is 4 meters. Above that height is just giving general presence detection. And again, it's showing the levels on the interfaces of what this sensor will provide. True Multisensor is 7 sensors in one. Again, for detection, it's the same as the True Presence. In addition, it's providing the brightness, temperature, humidity, CO2, VOC, and air pressure. Hallway sensor is 25 meters by 3 meters detection range with mounting height up to 4 meters and adjustable in each direction independently. Now, across this whole range, one of the key advantages of the system is that it is Bluetooth. Therefore, for setting up, it can be done through a smartphone, through our smart control app. But in addition, the sensors can be linked together through mesh, so you can create a network of the sensors and fittings accordingly. And the plans are going forward into 2021, so when the standard has been approved, we'll be migrating across to the Bluetooth SIG standard, which means that they'll be able to talk to other manufacturers' products on the same Bluetooth standard. HF360-2, the second version, again 360-degree coverage, 12 meters detection range with a maximum mounting height of 4 meters. The sensor as well can be electronically adjusted for its range and sensitivity, and again is available in the COM1, COM2 and the KNX-IP DALI2 versions. This is also Bluetooth and can be integrated with the True Presence detector depending on what the environment is and the levels of detection required. Our Quattro HD is our second generation, enhancing and developing further enhancements to the highly successful IR Quattro HD. 360-degree passive infrared coverage. The sensor has 4 PIR sensors built in and has now got an increased detection level for presence detection of 9 by 9 meters square detection zone. So 81 square meters the sensor can monitor presence detection for. As with the Quattro HD, the sensor can be adjusted mechanically to adjust the range up and down within the area. An additional advantage is that each sensor, the 4 sensors in each corner, can be electronically adjusted in sensitivity, which provides far greater control and detection in an area. Therefore, under the Control Pro series, we've got 5 sensors with 7 different interfaces. So a truly versatile range of sensors that can work with any building automation system. So as I come to the end of the seminar, as we mentioned before, we are running a series of these seminars across the week. Please feel free to log on to any of the seminars you want to find more information about, whether it's regarding DALI2, KNX, our True Presence detectors. There's a whole series across this week. So firstly, thank you for your time, and I'd like to open up now to any questions you may have of what I've discussed.